What is up, everybody? Guess what time it is? Matt, what time is it?
I think it's like 10, 11.
No, god damn it.
It's fucking go time.
It is fucking go time. That is right, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm going to turn Matt up because I don't know
Oh yeah,
the
sorry, I'm like a
volume.
little quiet.
No, I just turned you up on here. If anyone's in chat, let me know if we need to change anything. Yeah, this is episode 6. The go deep, or not go deep, the elbow
Elbow.
deep topic of tonight is going to be, has competitive gaming killed storytelling? Matt wasn't so sure on this, but I have some ideas, and we're gonna get kind of crazy on this.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's just jump right in, because after the stream tonight, we have a Gameoctane NHL
Fantasy draft.
Fantasy League, and we are going to stream that right afterwards. But I'm gonna cut the stream so there's a gap. So when we do the VOD, there's gonna be a little bit of a gap, so nobody's watching that if they don't want to. So right off the bat, new releases. Any new releases you're excited for this week that have grabbed
Yeah,
you?
definitely. This is a big week, especially for just like stuff I'm into. NHL 18, of course, just came
Yup,
out.
NHL.
It's slick. It's great. I like it a lot.
I haven't played it, and I may wait till Black Friday to buy it, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm pumped about. But I can go through the list if you want. We got a
Yeah, let's just keep
Another
going. Whatever
yeah,
you.
no, I'm excited about. Like, I loved this game on Xbox when it first came out. It was actually a funny story about Rayman Legends.
Hmm.
This is the definitive edition. It's coming to Switch on the 12th, so it's already been out for a few days. But that game, I got that game on Xbox for my birthday, my 21st birthday, and my sister got me really, really drunk and made me play it, and it was a blast, blast. But I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I
Quiet.
enjoyed it. Rayman Legends was actually surprisingly really good when I got. Did I? Was it free on Xbox Live? Is that why?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think it
that's
was
probably
free on
why I haven't
Xbox
been.
Live.
So
But
that
then
should
after
be
that, we
good.
got a Pro Evolution Soccer 2018. That's a huge title. I know it sells pretty well over in Europe.
Yeah, it's not as
And
big as FIFA, but it does sell some
yeah, it
copies.
still
That's for
sells
damn
some
sure.
good numbers. Then Yeast 8, I believe.
Yeast.
Um,
Yeah, I tried to ask someone was streaming it, and I was like, "How do you say that? Is it yes or
no,
yeast or
it's Yeast. Yeah.
yeast? YS? Okay, got
I
it.
don't know. I've played a few of them. They're pretty fun, but they're just not really for me.
I've never
It's on
played a single one.
PS4, PS Vita, and PC.
That's
I know
interesting.
if you like those JRPGs, it's for you definitely. You'll obviously know about this game, so it's no news. But then Divinity Original Sin 2, which is another game I'm super pumped for.
Hmm.
It is, I believe, it's been released on PC, so that's great.
Yeah, I think.
And then, yeah, I think coming out tonight. So I can't remember exactly when Divinity came out. I didn't grab a date for that one. But tonight, NBA 2K18 comes out across all platforms except
Hmm.
the Switch. That's coming later.
It's a
Dishonored
big
Death of
game.
the Outsider.
Big game.
Yeah, 2K18 is huge. It always sells well.
Yeah, NBA
Um,
Live I think is coming back this year for the
it came
first
back
time.
last.
Was
No,
it
it came
last
back
year?
past for a few years.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty trash game.
yeah. 2K18 I think is dominating the market, and it looks pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Like
It's
the
basketball.
graphics look sick. Like they look like the actual players. So I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, but then you got Dishonored Death of the Outsider, which a lot of people are super pumped for. Great Dishonored series or addition to the series, and then Metroid: Samus Returns for 3DS.
That game looks sick.
Yeah, I mean it looks okay. It I don't know. I'm pissed that it's not on Switch.
For Metroid? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
I don't want 3DS titles
yeah.
on
We'll
Switch.
get a little later actually
Yeah,
on some of these things, but yeah. Anything on 3DS seems kind of be a dead kind of system, and I don't see why they aren't cross-platforming those, because they're technically the same system. I don't get. I mean, well,
I don't
technically
know.
not, because they have the dual screen. But I mean, what Metroid dual screen is going to have a map on the bottom, like
Yeah,
menus?
pretty
Isn't that
much.
what they usually
That's
have? I don't know. I haven't
about
played it
it.
yet, but it's been getting good reviews, like really, really good reviews.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I'm not a Metroid fan, but it's definitely something I want to pick up. But I pulled my pre-order because I was like, I think I'm going to wait a little bit on it.
I did not. I don't have anything pre-order right now
I got so much shit pre-ordered.
at all. I told you the last game I bought was Everybody's Golf, and I haven't touched it in a bit. The only game I've really been playing is Sundered. I played it for. I have the review out. If you guys want to go to the website and check it out. Super beautiful, fun platforming game. It's difficult, super difficult. I mean, it's difficult to a point where you need to stop and think about what you're doing. You can't just run in guns blazing. You're not going to defeat like the enemies like that. And the bosses were so fun because your chick is like maybe like this big, but the boss is like this big, and you're like,
Huge. Yeah.
holy shit! Like it's just the size comparisons alone. You're like, it was really fun and exciting. A really good game. I definitely would pick it up. It's probably go on sale during what's the next thing? Fall sale, winter sale, Steam coming up. Definitely
You
worth
think
checking it
so?
out. I think they have one for every season now.
Probably.
Yeah, they're not gonna miss
Hold
anything.
on,
But
give
yeah,
me
it's
one.
really good. It's definitely worth picking up, especially for like platformers. Yeah, it's definitely worth picking it up.
Sorry, give me 1 second. My computer's freaking out a little bit right
Oh
now.
no! Oh, got some bits. Thanks to hear.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so yeah, that's that all you've been playing really this week?
That's honestly all I've been playing. I mean, I did get a new. There's a mobile. I honestly don't even know the hell name of it. It just came out today or last night. Hold on, pull it up right now. Iron Marines. It was $4.99. It just came out, and I had some cash built up through Google surveys, and it's like an RTS game, kind of like kind of like StarCraft a little bit, but through
Oh, that's
PC.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's pretty fun. It was $5, and I've been having enjoying it so far. That's only literally that's all I've been able to play this week so far. What about you, man?
I have been playing nothing but Destiny 2, basically. My life has been consumed by Destiny 2. That's why actually I was running a little late to getting in here, was because I was trying to run the raid and we kept trying to like
Rookie
do it. And I was
mistake.
like, yeah, I gotta leave it 11. I gotta leave it 11. Like, one more try, one more try. So
Rookie.
yeah, I've been playing the shit out of that. Destiny 2 is amazing.
Y'all gonna make
It's
me fucking buy it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually just bought it on PS4, so I'm getting a copy on PS4. So that should be coming soon. So I'll have it on
You're
Xbox
gonna have
One,
two
PS.
copies?
Yep, 2 copies.
You are
I'm
fucking
getting the
high.
edition with
You
the
are fucking
season
high.
pass. It's so good. Like it is. I'm gonna go off a little rant about it. It's just like it's basically when Bungie made Halo, and like I remember that time playing Halo. You're like, this is a world I want to be in. I want to read the books. I want to know all the lore. This is just a great, rich world. And Destiny 1, it came out, and you're like, this really isn't Bungie. This doesn't feel like Bungie. You know what I mean? Like this isn't this. They hinted that there was like some stuff going on. There
Yeah,
wasn't a great
I'll agree with
story.
that. Destiny 1 was. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of my problem with Destiny 1. I fell off Destiny 1 really fast. I would get highest level. I wouldn't get max gear score or whatever, light level, but I would just get like the new level, would be like, oh, it's level 30 now. I'd do that. I'd run a few strikes and I'd be done with the game.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, I mean, like I'm trying to run the raid. I've been trying to do everything. Like I'm trying to do dailies. It's literally, it's kind of consumed my life. It's so good. But kind of going back to my original point, it's Destiny 2 is what it has, that like richness, that depth that Halo did when it came out.
Okay.
And I feel like Destiny 2 really hit it out of the park, where like when I play this, like I remember, being in 5th grade, like watching like the vid docs that that Bungie would do about Halo. You know what I mean? They'd be like, let's talk to the artist, and you would talk to the artist, and I would tell you all these little hints, and you would go on websites, and like I don't know if you know about this too much, but there was like a leak from Bungie called the Cortana letters, and it was before Halo 3 came out.
Yes, I
And
have.
it was all written in, and I printed that like 60-page fucking memo out, and I remember trying to figure out what was going on, and like that's what that game felt like. That was Halo 1, and Halo 2 and Halo 3. Destiny 2 reminds me of that. It gives me that feeling again of like wanting to like explore this world, wanting to be engrossed in it. So yeah, that's kind of consumed my life.
It's good though. I mean, would you say that you need to play Destiny 1 before you play Destiny 2?
Not at all.
I mean, I know the story goes right into it, but I mean, I just wanted to know, like,
No,
do you think you need to get the first one free? Okay, that's
no,
good.
because there is no story in the first game. Like what you need to do is you need to go to the Wikipedia and you just need to read all the shit because you had to do that anyway when you played the first game.
Get the cliff notes.
Yeah, so you had to read that, because like there's so much like nuance in the game. Like one of the enemies you kill in Destiny 1, his name was Crota. Well, his sister is trying to come back, and you wouldn't pick up on that unless you went in the first game and you read about his sister, and you had to go through a web browser to figure it out. But like now you can kind of do that, and the game just has all this like great nuance, and I really like it. It's amazing.
I really want to play it. I really want to try it out, but I can't justify paying full price for it right now when I have so much other things to do right now. I may try to trade some games in on Amazon. I was looking at it the other day and just um, seeing if I can trade some stuff in.
Yeah, I definitely think you should because if I'm getting it on PS4, I'm gonna need people to play with. So
Yeah, hey, I'll definitely get on PS4. I don't think I'm gonna get it on Xbox. My Xbox hasn't been turned on besides my kid running around and pushing the light.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Hype though. What are you hyping on?
Yeah. So if it's not Destiny, I actually just downloaded a bunch of stuff on my Switch today, so I've
Hmm.
been sitting down playing that. I tried that Project Octopath Traveler, the demo for that.
Oh, there's a demo
Um, yeah, there's a free demo.
on Switch.
Um, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
shit, I'm gonna download that shit right now while we're talking. Go,
yeah,
keep
definitely.
going.
No, it's pretty fun. I've played about 15 minutes of the demo. It starts out really cool. It starts out very traditional, like JRPG. It looks like there's like 8 or 9 characters, probably 8 because it says
Yeah,
Octopath.
Octo. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But you can choose from in the demo. You can choose from two of them. They all like one's like a grizzled war veteran, and the other one's
Hmm.
like a fallen princess who has to be like this like lady of the night type thing because she's got to keep her identity secret or whatever. That's just what I picked up. Like I said, I played 15 minutes, but so I've been messing around with that, and it was really cool. It's very beautiful. I like that it's not all text based.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's
I
text
loved
based.
how they called it. Was it 2D HD? I think that's what they called it because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just looked so good.
and it's voice too. So the it's not just text. Like
Oh,
it's
oh,
text, but
okay,
they
yeah, that's
talk
pretty
too.
sick then.
Which,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's one of my biggest gripes. Like, I love reading, but when I play a video game, I want to be engrossed in the story. You know, you
Hmm.
talk to me, all that shit, whatever. But
Yeah,
I was having a lot of fun with it. My big problem was that it's a demo, and I think they're just like, here's the first hour of the game. I'm not sure about this, but it's like it starts off so slow. It's like the demo's not making me want to buy the game because it's like when I think of demo, you throw me into a boss battle, you you throw me into like a battle scene or something that's gonna engross me in the game and kind of get
yeah.
me hyped.
Throw you
Don't
into
give
the
me the
middle of the
like
shit. Yeah, you
yeah,
don't.
don't give me like the oh hey walk around and talk to 5 townspeople. I'm like oh my god dude I just want to fight somebody like.
I
But
know.
other
I
than
get it.
that, yeah. Other than that, I've been, yeah, no. I mean, what have you been hyping on?
That's really it. I mean, I haven't. There's not. Besides all the stuff we hyped in the last couple of podcasts, the newest hype is probably going to be Project Overpath Traveler. It was Octopath Traveler. When I first saw it, it was pretty. I was pretty impressed. I'm like, when I first saw like the 16-bit graphics pop up, and I was like, okay, this is starting to grab me because I love all retro shit. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay, all right, continue on, yes. And they're like, oh, you can have 8 different characters. I'm like, okay, well that seems kind of convoluted, but it all kind of makes sense because I don't know if the story is going to be that long because because you're probably gonna have to play through 8 different characters, which start off in 8 different lands that I read. So you're completely
yeah,
doing. You're not like I want to pick a new character, but you're dropped in the same wake up from the same inn like every other RPG. Like you're gonna be doing different things and having different stories to play. And I think it's gonna help the replay value. So I don't think the story is gonna be that long because otherwise it's gonna be like a $500 game, which I don't think
yeah. I mean, that's
is
definitely
really
something
gonna
I want to know. I
happen.
want to know like the length. I also want to know if they're going to call the game something else because I think that's a really awful name for a game.
No, it
Um,
said Project Octopath Traveler, so it's a working title,
yeah,
definitely
I
a
know.
working
It
title.
just you release a demo with the working title's name. Like, wouldn't you think you had that figured out before you? I don't know.
The rock paper scissors tournament hasn't finished yet
Yeah,
over
I
at
guess. But then another thing
Square.
I'm really hyped about, to kind of wrap up our hype train segment,
Hmm.
it's kind of a little bit of a plug, a little bit. I talked to
Oh,
these guys at
plug.
Gen Con. Yeah, no, I talked to these guys at Gen Con. I have an article up on the website about Evolution, the video game. It launched on the 12th. I think they're like 75% funded already, but it is an amazing card game. It's you start and you're got to eat to survive, and you got to evolve your people into carnivores, or you can evolve them to have wings to run away from the carnivores, and it's a very like it looks very light and it looks very like oh this is gonna be a kid game and then you jump in and it's very deep and it's like just extremely complex and it has a lot of layers and but it's gonna be for iOS, Android, and PC and I think it's $20 or maybe $25 to get all of that and
That's
you
pretty
get the
sick.
PC version as soon as
And this is a
the
card
Kickstarter
game,
is up.
or this
Yeah,
is
it's a video game based on a board game, but it's a card game. The board
okay.
game's a card game, so like but it's it looked kind of like Hearthstone when you first see it. You're like, what? And it's very interesting.
Hmm.
But I had some hands-on time with it. I wrote a little bit about it in the article. but it's definitely something I recommend. And like I said, it's $25 to get on all platforms, and you'll get it for PC on the 17th of October when it's done. I highly recommend you guys check it out if you like card games, especially like digital card games. It's super
Uh-huh.
fun, super beautiful art. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely go check them
I'll
out.
definitely need to check it out then,
Yeah,
because there was an old school, I think game. I want to say Super Nintendo. Um, that has a game like that, and basically you go around and you survive and you try to avoid things until you can find something you can attack, and then once you attack enough, you get like Evo points, I think they called it. I don't remember the name of the game. The guys on Retro Gaming Live play a lot. Um, or RPGC, RPG chick, she plays it a lot. Basically, you level up and you can make your jaws better. You can make a fin. You can make it. It's like a million different things you can do.
yeah.
So I'm really excited to see like this new iteration of it. So
Yeah, it's
that's
kind of like that.
that's dope.
The board game's been around for a while. The board game's really cool. There's actually a level that you can get the board game as well. I think it may be
Okay,
like a $50 level, but yeah, I dropped the link in chat if anybody's interested. Or if
cool.
you're watching the VOD, it'll pop up for you because I definitely think everybody should check that out.
We'll throw that
But yeah, that's
in the YouTube description as well, because
yeah,
just in
definitely.
case someone's watching on YouTube
And
afterwards.
also, just another little hype thing is they did talk to me about maybe after the Kickstarter launch, so which it has, I'll reach out to them. They were thinking about
Mhm.
maybe coming on and doing like an interview with us on the podcast,
Yes,
some gameplay. So I'll definitely reach out to
yes, that'd be
but
awesome.
yeah,
That'd be
we'll have to
super
sync that
awesome.
up. The thing is, they're East Coast, they're DC. They said so they'll be like super far ahead of time. I don't know. It's
They're in the future.
yeah,
Just kidding.
but that is all I'm hyped for
Yeah,
right now,
okay.
at least.
Hey, that's enough to be hyped. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
see, I read your article and I saw the Kickstarter and it looks sick.
yeah,
And I couldn't put in my hype train because it would have the same things on hype train. I had to put
yeah,
Project Octopath Traveler because that was the only thing I was super hyped on. Um, so let's move on into the news of the week.
yeah. We got a lot of news this week.
Got a lot of news, a lot more than last week, because last week was
Yeah,
really lame for whatever reason. But just real quick, Nintendo announced that the NES Classic is coming back. They are bringing it back. I think it's going to be the middle of 2018. They're reviving it. I think they got enough people chewing their ass out, and so they're definitely bringing that back. They don't have a for sure date. It's going to be the exact same thing. I don't think they're updating it. I don't think they're adding security so you don't hack it. I haven't heard that yet. But that just came out a couple days ago, and also the SNES Classic stock has been increased, so they're hoping everyone can get a hands on those for the holidays. Please do not try to buy it from a scalper; it is not going to be worth it because
yeah. Reggie came out and said, "Do not buy it off a scalper. We are going to increase our stock, so people who want it are going to be
yes.
able to get it."
So
So
don't be cruising,
yeah,
Craigslist and go hang out at the back of an A&P and waiting for someone to sell you an SNES Classic. You probably grab it from the store. So super excited. Like I said, I was lucky enough to get one pre-ordered, um, and I hope people that want to get it play it. And when it comes out, I want to try to get a full night dedicated to just playing the shit out of like Star Fox and all those hype games. We'll just go stream all the hell of those. Um, but yeah, moving on. This kind of rocked the boat in the gaming world, I think, a little bit. What happened earlier this week? Some of you guys may have seen it, some of you not. PewDiePie decided to drop another racial slur during a live stream. This guy can't avoid controversy. This is not the first time he's done it, and he tried to play it off, and then he came back like 2 days later. He didn't say anything the next day. 2 days later, he came back and ended up saying, um, "I'm sorry, I'm worse than a closet racist because I've said it more than." This is not the first time I've done it. It's just such a complete shithead. I can't.
yeah. I think the big thing to take from this, which I thought was really interesting, is the guys over at Campo Santo, the developers of Firewatch, which is one of my favorite games of all time, um, came out and they put a DMCA like takedown request on his video. His playthroughs of Firewatch would have over like 5 million views.
Yeah,
And those videos got taken down. Like they're gone off YouTube. And they came out and they're like, we're not gonna let somebody who says racist shit um, make money off our games,
which is
and
so
we don't want
so good.
to make money off a racist advertising our product. And they said Campo Santo, they're a small independent studio. They said they're going to try to talk to the other developers, bigger developers, and have them try to see maybe if they'll also pull the same shit because they don't want to support that. And yeah, I think it's good for them. I think both sides have arguments all the time. it's like, oh, it's freedom of speech or whatever. It's whatever. I don't give a shit, but
No,
I think it's
it
right for the
goes into our
developers to.
whole podcast last week when we
Yeah.
talked
So I
about
mean, I don't want
gamer
to dive too deep
entitlement.
into it because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. But yeah, it's a bad situation. But I like how the developers responded, especially Campo Santo. God bless them. They're great. So they're gonna have them be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I think it's such a like again, it kind of dives into our whole thing that we had last week, and I don't want to dive back into it because we got a lot of it, spread out last time. But I feel like it's not so much that he's screwed up and he's an asshole. This is not the first time he's done it. So
Yeah.
I would love to see. I mean, honestly, like with his stature and his pool, like digitally, like how many followers he has, I'm sure he doesn't pay for anything. He gets a ton of YouTube money. People are probably sending him games. Just play this game online, just play it in front of people. But when you keep doing stuff like that, and you're doing it during a game that you want to be to hype, and something like that happens on stream, like I would be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with the bullshit that someone can drop a racial slur or a homophobic slur or something like that. I think it's gonna make. I think it may um, make more developers a little more leery, maybe on giving review copies to strictly streamers and
Hmm.
stuff like that. I mean, Kurt kind of brought it up where I was going with it, um, but I think it's good that it's gonna start mic checking people. Like people are gonna not you're gonna have to think more when they talk and not just have diarrhea of the mouth and let shit just spew everywhere. I think it's gonna be good in the long run. I hope it's bad for him. I really hope he loses subscribers. I hope he really just. I don't want to talk on it too much, but
Yeah.
otherwise it's disgusting. Um, we don't condone it. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Just don't be a racist. Like I think it's
Yeah, just
easy as
keep
that.
seriously. Just there's no spot for that in the world. We don't need any of that shit anymore. That needs to kind of go away. The whole racial thing is just it's beyond me right now. Um,
Speaking of things that are racist, let's talk about this Nintendo Switch app update.
racist Nintendo Switch app update. Yeah, it's
You pulled this news story, so tell me about this because I did not know that anything happened.
so the Nintendo Switch app is what they use. Um, that's what you use to voice chat. Shit, hold on, the audio played. That's what you use to voice chat when you're playing Splatoon or whatever it is.
Okay.
So
You shouldn't be playing that game in the first place, so this is a bad news story. We can
yeah,
just exit out of this one.
this is the one I use it. So before when it launched, you're only able to speak with the phone unlocked and the app was open. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. Like it was that poorly designed. But now this latest update allows you to talk while when other apps are in front of it, or the voice chat will also continue while it's in sleep mode. So that is actually a huge update for a lot of people that are looking to get back into Splatoon that didn't like the only way to chat was through the phone. But it's not that huge of a news story. It's just an update, and hopefully that fixes, and maybe Nintendo gets their head out of their ass and starts stepping their game up on that. That's all I wanted to bring up. It updated. If those are having issues with the app, there's an update, and hopefully it fixes your fun time in Splatoon 2 because that's all that's
You shouldn't be
available.
playing Splatoon 2. Just stop playing that game.
Oh yeah,
Everybody plays that game wants to fuck squids, and I don't understand why everybody wants to have sex with squids. Why? Why, Jason?
you know what? I'm not. I'll eat the shit out of squid, but I'm not gonna fuck any squid. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Moving on.
Okay. Moving on. Speaking of things we
PUBG.
want to fuck.
Yeah, PUBG adds a beautiful update. They add fog. They add the new gun, a Mini 14. And I believe they're starting a new map. This is all gonna be um, uh, the fog system. I tried to watch some streams when they announced this, but you really had to be into the test servers to get it more often. I think fog was only supposed to happen one out of every 10 or 20 matches. I think what the ratio was, but it looks pretty sick. From what I saw a screenshot of, like it adds a new element and it changes the dynamic of the game because everything's not wide open and bright and beautiful. Um, I think they added forced shadows as well, so people that are running around like with all their shaders off and everything to try to see everyone clear. I think they're forced to now. So that kind of added and
Yeah, I
changed
mean,
the dynamic a
also
little bit.
there's some other good things in this. They because people were idling to earn like
Yep.
battle packs or whatever, and they fixed that issue. And there was also a lot of client optimization, which is good for people who are trying to play PUBG because PUBG did what surpass Dota in concurrent users.
Yeah, we talked about that last
So
week.
I mean,
Yep.
did we? I couldn't remember. So I mean, that's crazy. But good for PUBG. Fun
Yeah,
game.
no, it's supposed to be going on Xbox One fairly soon, I think, by the end of the
Yeah,
year.
end of the year.
Uh, but yeah, I'm excited for the fog. I think adding the foggy wear there, I mean, it has a low probability to occur. Like I said, it's like one every so often, but I think it's gonna look pretty sick. I think it adds everything. Um, but yeah, that's really it. I mean, there's a huge list of stuff you can go through, but that's going to be the major updates. The Mini 14 is a really slick gun in real life, and I think they did a pretty, from what I can see, they did a really good job in the game, kind of covering up and everything. Moving down the list, EA is looking to move into a Netflix-like subscription service. Now, this is something that they kind of already are trying to go in the first place with their EA Access and Origin Access, depending on if you have Xbox One or PC. But it looks like they want to go beyond that and be like and kind of get rid of the physical model and just do strictly streaming like a Netflix thing. I don't know. How do
God
you feel?
bless.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I use EA Access. I've used EA Access since day one of
Mm-hmm.
EA Access. I sporadically use Origin Access, just because like a lot of the games I have on EA Access already have, so I don't play on PC. But I love their service. I love EA Access. I love the Game Pass service that Xbox has. PlayStation needs to get their head out of their ass with their PlayStation service because it's fucking garbage and they have no games on it whatsoever.
Yep.
Um, but no, I love this. I love digital. I hate physical media. So like, let's stop fucking. I don't like discs. I hate that shit. So let me just download all my stuff. Let me access it in the cloud.
See, I
Access it
enjoy having a
from the
disc just
cloud.
in case I want to trade it in and get a little bit of money back if I need to. But
No, that's my problem. Then I'll trade everything in. Then I trade games in constantly. I play them for 2 days. I get bored. I trade it in. If I buy it digitally, I'm stuck with it. I can't get rid of it.
yeah, I
So
get
that's why
it.
I like physical. That's why I mean that's just me personally. That's just how I am. So that's why I like digital. I don't fucking hate physical media. Like, I like my PS4 games physical just because I like the color of the box for some reason. But I don't know.
Entitled gamer. Kurt called you entitled. Entitled
Maybe I
gamer.
don't know. I don't.
So
I hate the arguments against moving to digital. When people are, oh, my internet connection, fucking, I don't know, man.
I get it, but
It's
let me get this quote. This is from Chris Evenden. Evenden, how you don't know how you say his name. He's the VP of Investor Relations. He says right now, if you want to play FIFA in the United States, it will cost you $460. You have to buy the game, you have to buy the console, and in a streaming world, it's about $10 a month. These all the commercial details have been worked out, but whatever ends up, it's going to be much less than $460 because technically all you literally need is a smart TV. So they're talking about maybe even getting away from consoles in general, and any type of smart device will allow you to stream. Granted, it's got to be an HD device. Any type of device should be able to let you stream their EA games. So this could be a
yeah,
game changer if they want to allow this to come out, because there are some people that only play Madden, that only play FIFA, and that could hurt the sales of Xboxes and PlayStations if you literally can just play with any regular like a Roku or a
yeah.
Chromebox or Chromecast or whatever. Like that's pretty impressive that they're
I mean, I
thinking
think the
that
market
far
would
down.
work itself out though, because then TVs would be more expensive. It's like, hey, you want that TV that can play that FIFA? That TV is gonna be $500 more.
Yeah,
Or
but
you can just buy an
you're going to be
Xbox for
looking at a
300
subscription
bucks.
service probably about 60, maybe $20 a month. I mean, it's going to be more than Netflix, that's for sure.
Yeah. All I'm
So
saying is, I just think that people freak out and they're like, oh man, does that mean the Xbox is gonna die? I mean,
no, I'm not saying it's going to
it
die, but I'm
should.
just saying
No, I'm just yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
What I'm
It's
trying
going
to
to
say
change it.
is, well, is all I'm trying to say is the market will work itself out, and if the Xbox or PlayStation or Switch can't survive in a market where, let's say, EA pulls their games and you can
Mm-hmm.
only buy them, through a subscription service, and you can use your Xbox, but you can also use your smart TV or you can use your iPad. If the system if the Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch can't adapt, and they can't pivot, and they can't, find a way to make money, then they shouldn't be in the fucking place in the first place. They shouldn't be in the market in the first place. And like that's always my big thing is like people, because I mean, it's capitalism. It's the free market. If you can't survive in it, then you shouldn't be in it in the first place. That's just kind of how I feel. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
they'll figure it out.
No,
Like
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think that's a really broad and an aggressive stance that they want to put it on smart TVs. But yeah, I would if there was a decent price and they had any type of EA game I want, new release, anything. I would probably look into it because
I would have to look up my information, but didn't Sony try to do this with one of their Sony Bravia TVs? You could stream PlayStation. Can't you still do that right now? You can do this PlayStation Now service, and if you just have a Sony Bravia TV, because the Sony TVs came with like a USB adapter for a.
I think you need the PlayStation TV.
I thought it was built into the Sony TV.
It could be right. I honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but
that's what I'm saying. But like, obviously, like it didn't take off that well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
because they're not brand new games. Like EA's talking about like any brand new. I mean, Netflix isn't brand new, but they have a lot of exclusive stuff. So I'm sure that's what they're looking at.
I think basically he's just talking about maybe expanding more on EA Access. That's just me personally, but we'll see.
Well, yeah. Again, it's just a rumor. Someone probably took what he said and spun it out of control. But yeah, he's basically saying anyone with a smart device should be able to play an EA game, whether you're playing Peggle or you're playing FIFA. I mean, it could be different depending on what you're playing on.
And speaking of rumors, Jason, what's this?
Rumors. This one. This was Lich Spear. It's a new game that came out for the Nintendo Switch, and they did an AMA, and they were asked about leaderboards because the game.
AMA's Ask Me Anything, just for people.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. They got asked about leaderboards because the Switch doesn't allow them, and they were they're like, well, the way the game plays, it'd be cool to have leaderboards to see against your friends, like how fast you finish the level and blah blah blah. And they said that Nintendo. Let me find the quote. Nintendo does not have an official support for achievements and leaderboards like Sony or Microsoft, right? Wrote Crunching Koala's co-founder Tom Tomascui. But we know they are working on it. So they came out and said, out from underneath Nintendo, and say they are currently working on leaderboards and achievements, which I think Nintendo is desperately needing at the moment to stay competitive in the competitive side of things. Which we're going to get in competitiveness later in this podcast, but
I'm reading this, and then I guess someone pointed out like, isn't that supposed to be a secret? And
yes.
He edited it to we know to a really strong feeling they hinted at a few times.
Yeah, he's oops, move along, nothing to see here. Walking, so we know really strong feeling they hinted at a few times.
Oh,
so
God.
from what they know, so Nintendo basically told them, you're going to make this game, your next game, this is what you're going to do. We are working on this type. So
yeah, I think Switch needs it. I think every game console needs some type of achievement or leaderboard system. I mean, that's what makes me love my PlayStation. That's actually what drove me from Xbox to PlayStation. It wasn't the games, it wasn't the exclusives, because fuck Uncharted. It wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
It was the leaderboard area. It was like the trophies. Like I liked hunting for that platinum trophy. I liked leveling up that shit. It was more than just an achievement number keep going up.
Yeah, no,
that won me over.
I think Steam has probably done it the best by adding the trading cards and allowing people to trade trading cards for real money. Sorry, Kurt distracted me. But I believe that I think it's a good thing. I really think they need it. I really think they need to do other things before that. But I think it's a good direction for them to get that drive going and to get people to stay on Nintendo. Go on to the next one. I'll let you take the next one.
Yeah, before we jump, because we were going to jump into the Nintendo Direct stuff here, but I think we're going to say that a little bit to the end just because that's so meaty. There's just a few things I pulled up I found. This comes from rpgsite.net. It's a cool website. Check them out sometime. But there is, let's see here, a banner that was up for the Tokyo Game Show 2017. It was on a website. They published it a little early. I think it was on a live stream page. But there's an advertisement for it's called Dragon's Crown Pro. If you don't know what Dragon's Crown is a PS Vita and PS3 game. It was made Vanillaware, I think they're called. Yeah, Vanillaware.
Okay.
They made like Odin Sphere and stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful art. But it's coming to PS4, and I've been dying for that game. So it's one of my favorite games.
So Pro, I'm assuming Pro is just the remake.
I would assume
the
it's
original.
probably just like it's a remaster and then maybe some DLC or something. One of the characters that they have, it looks a little newer, so I don't know if it's going to be extra stuff. they haven't announced anything about it yet. So
Okay,
we'll
that's cool.
figure it out soon at Tokyo Game Show. So I'm pumped for that. But definitely keep your eye on it. The game's awesome.
Hmm.
I highly recommend it. But then another thing to keep your eye on, if my internet would load. If you guys are into card games at all, actual physical card games, there's a card game called Netrunner. It's a living card game. I don't know if you know what living card games are, but they're basically like Magic. And instead of there being block sets, you just buy this set, and then that's all the cards that are released. So you pay $40 and you get the whole set of cards. You don't have to buy trading, or you don't have to buy booster
Okay.
packs.
Okay.
They're really cool. Well, the problem with Netrunner is it just had expansion after expansion after expansion, and sooner or later it's like you had to buy like $480 worth of cards to be competitive. Well, there's something called Netrunner. It's the revised core set. They're going to make kind of a fast track for players to be competitive, so it's going to have every kind of thing you need. I really wanted to get into Netrunner, but I could never get into it just because the barrier of entry was so high with all the expansions they had. But definitely, it's coming out soon. It's from Fantasy Flight Games. Definitely check it out. It looks cool if you like cyberpunk stuff, if you like card games. But that is it. And
No, it
also,
looked pretty cool. I looked at it a little bit once
yeah,
you
no,
when
you
you
read about
talked
that.
about it, and it was I heard of people playing it before, but like you said, a lot of card games, if you're not investing dough in it, you're kind of behind the times in the first place. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool that they're revising it and going off again. It's pretty slick.
But yeah, another card game that has kind of lowered the barrier of entry is Magic the Gathering Arena. And if you like Magic the Gathering, I don't know if you played it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just by looking at your face, I can tell you play Magic.
I've never owned a card. I played it online a lot, but I never owned Magic cards.
But yeah, if you're in the Magic community, you know that it's hard to play digitally because you either play Magic the Gathering online, which is super competitive and it's super like the interface is like Windows 98, or you play I think it's called like Magic Duels or something like that. It's a super light version of Magic. It's kind of disgusting. But with this Magic the Gathering Arena, it's kind of like the Hearthstone. It's like the middle ground. It's if you want to be competitive, but you also want to have fun. It's going to be a free to play. I don't know if it's going to be totally free to play. It'll probably won't be. It'll probably be like Hearthstone where you can jump in and play, get some card packs, grind.
Unlock a few cards the more you play, or you can just drop money and unlock a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, probably. But the art looks great. It looks like they're trying to make it a little more approachable, a little more fun for people. Because if you look at Magic Online, it looks fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's called Magic the Gathering Arena. They talked about it a while ago, but yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. Wizards of the Coast obviously publishing that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on PC and.
The closed beta is up live right now, so if you go to their site,
really?
I believe you can join it. Yep.
Yeah, there's an article over at PC Gamer I was looking at.
It's at playmtgarena.com. That's where you will get into. I'll post it up in the chat. But yeah, there's a closed beta. Oh, shit.
How much do I gotta pay to get in this closed beta? Does it say?
No, you join the closed beta.
I'm just fucking.
Okay, yeah, it looks pretty sick. So I was pretty impressed with it. So Magic has always been fun. It's pretty much the premier card game. I mean, it still has a physical aspect in the real world. It's not a digital one. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to bring it back and drop some new stuff for everyone.
Definitely. I mean, we spoke about PUBG earlier, and this is kind of a PUBG-ish. Fortnite Battle Royale launches September 26th. So later this month, you can play.
I think you can play it now if you go into the public test.
Okay.
But it's not officially out until the 26th. If you wanted to test it with them, it's open now. But the 26th is the official launch date.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It looks cool. There's a trailer over at the PlayStation blog. It's neat. I mean, I was wondering who was going to jump in and try to chase PUBG. Like, what big publisher is going to chase that?
Yeah, and I was not expecting Fortnite to drop. I mean, they announced Battle Royale a little bit ago. I believe they hinted at it, but when they actually dropped the details, what was this, a couple days ago, I was pretty impressed. I'm like, okay, this looks kind of sick. But the problem I have with it is that if you're going to be building shit, what's going to stop someone from just running around and capping motherfuckers that are trying to build something?
Nothing. I mean,
like that's what I'm saying. It's going to be kind of hard. Like, I need to build this, this defense, or I'm going to put this trap down. Like, how long do you have? Like, if it's like PUBG, or I mean, H1Z1's the only one I played. Like, if you're gonna spawn next to 100 people, like to 10 people, like you're not gonna be able to build shit. Like, you're gonna be screwed.
No, you can try. I don't know. I don't think people are gonna be building. I think people, more than anything, they're gonna be destroying things. You know what I mean?
And they didn't talk about how they're gonna force people in the same area. Kind of, like the games they limit the play
Yeah.
field until there's just
I
one person
assume
left.
in one of the promotional images, there's like it looks kind of like a blue fog. So I
Yeah.
would assume it's gonna be something like that. But yeah, definitely check that out. Fortnite was a great game. We all loved it here. So more power to Epic.
Hmm.
That game was awesome. So
Yeah. So look, yeah, I think literally you have your glider, you jump out of that bus that flies around, which looks kind of sick, and all you have is a pickaxe, and everyone's on the same level. Like it's not like I think Fortnite now you can pitch in some money and get some better weapons and stuff. You can get the different skins, you can hit more pinatas and shit. But this I think is leveling the playing field. It's not going to directly affect what you currently do in your other Fortnite games. So I'm gonna try it out. I think we'll try it out because we have copies of it, so we may jump in and check it out when it comes out. And was it 12 days?
yeah, pretty soon. And yeah, you're right. I just looked. You can join the public test right now to do test for like the server stability and stuff. So definitely, try that out if you want.
Sounds good. All right, moving on to Nintendo Direct news. Nintendo Direct had was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. They had their little Direct and they try to hype a bunch of things that a lot of people don't really care about, but there are a few things that are impressive. Thanks for the host, Travis. Um, uh, this thing kind of pissed me off. This Mario Party Top 100. It looked cool. It's going to take 100 of the games from all the Mario parties and make it like an ultimate game, but it's only on the 3DS. So I don't
Oh my
understand
god.
why this isn't brought to the Switch, and this is so pissing me off. Like they're just not letting the 3DS die, and they should be porting the games. Like if you're going to release a game like Mario Party Top 100, it should be available for both platforms. It doesn't make any goddamn sense why it's doing that.
Yeah, that's
I mean, do
upsetting
you agree
because
with
like,
me or no? Am I am
well, I mean,
I
okay,
am I
let me start this.
talking crazy pills?
I haven't watched the direct yet. I've read some Twitter shit. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, looked on like Reddit and stuff like that. But I didn't know about this, and you started pitching it, and I was like, I'm fucking in, dude. Like this is gonna be a fun game. Like let me get this, and we'll play it at parties, and we'll have a good time. Um, but yeah, no, I guess I'm not gonna get it because I'm gonna rant about that a little bit later, or I can go into it right now if you want
Um,
about the stuff I've heard about that I'm upset about.
what from Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, from the direct.
We'll keep going if it hits something
Okay.
else. So, yeah, the Mario Party Top 100. I think it is a good idea to have something like this to bring it out, but I don't think it's a good idea to limit it to the 3DS, which really limits a lot. Like, what Mario Party games? Like, what are you gonna shake the remote? Like, there's a lot of shaking games and stuff like that where were really cool during Mario Party. I don't feel like you can get the same thing out of a 3DS, but we're gonna let it go. Mario Party 11 or whatever the next finishing, whatever the next part of it. It was gonna be on Switch next, so I don't think they're gonna bring the top 100 because they had to dumb it down for the 3DS, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of competitiveness, Nintendo is getting on the Rocket League bandwagon. This game has sold a ton of copies. This game is actually doing pretty well in the tournament brackets and multiplayer, and it's everyone probably has this game somewhere on some console because it's been free multiple times throughout the months. But it's been fun. When it first came out, we played the hell out of it for a while. Um,
So did they announce price? Did they announce release date at all?
I don't think so. I think they just said Rocket League is coming. I'll look real quick if you want to go into.
Okay, because we like that's what I'm saying. Like we knew Rocket League was coming. Like this is what's upsetting me is like I saw this on the list and I was pumped because I want Rocket League.
I think
I'm
they
ready
just
for Rocket
showed
League. Like
visuals. I think
more
it's
shit.
just
Like
new
that's
details. I think literally that's all it was.
stop. Like just stop fucking teasing me. You told me
Coming
to release
holiday 2017. That's literally all it says.
See, okay, so I had a dream it was coming holidays 2017 and it was $7.99. I don't know why. Like if that happens, if that happens, if it comes out and it's like at a reduced price for $8, Nintendo's gonna owe me some money. Like that's
I think the next other big thing is it's cross network play with Xbox One and PC users.
yeah.
So
Nice.
that may be the other thing they announced, but that's about it.
Okay, whatever. I
So
want the date.
yeah, well, we're not going to get it until
The day it comes out.
probably like 2 weeks before it comes out. Next big thing. This is kind of impressive. I was kind of excited for this one. Arena of Valor. That is currently a mobile game on iOS and Android. It is a MOBA, so that's going to be like a League of Legends and a Dota 2 type of game. That's coming to the Switch as well. Free to play, of course, is going to have microtransactions like it does on the Android and iOS. So I think it's really cool to have for the Switch. It's probably a game I'm going to download when it comes out because
Yeah, I mean it's free to play. Why
I
would I
love
not download
MOBAs.
it?
I'm a whore for them, to be honest. I
Dude,
love playing them.
you need to play Paragon with me because Paragon's super
I have
fun.
Paragon. I have it downloaded. I played it like the
No,
very first like closed beta I was invited to, and I never got any further on that.
fuck it. We're turning off the stream. We're playing Paragon. That's what we're doing.
Turn this shit off. But yeah, the next thing, Nintendo Arcade was announced, which is it's not virtual console. It basically takes ports of the old school arcade cabinets. So it says it has Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Punch Out. These are not the games from the NES. These are from the stand-up arcade cabinets. So don't expect these to be exactly like you played when you were in 1986 playing the Nintendo. It's not the same thing. So these are supposed to come out. Mario Brothers comes out in a week or two, 2 weeks, or the 27th or 20th. I forgot what day it was. But these are not the games you remember. This Mario Brothers is the one where it has the pipes on each corner, and you can run through them, and you have to hit the blocks underneath the enemies to flip them over. Then you go and kick them, and you get a coin. And it's competitive if you have two players. That's all it is. You're not playing anything else other than that. So this is a small way there, but I
So
don't.
did they not release Virtual Console to talk about it at all?
No, no. This is all they talked about. They say it's coming, but they're starting it with this, which I don't see this doing very well.
Yeah, no, that's
Unless you're an older, like my generation, maybe older, you want to play the old school games that you're used to playing. It's not going to have any Switch specialties. It's going to be like you're playing on an arcade. That's it. It's not going to be any motion censored or anything. So that's what they gave us. And lastly, go ahead and drop the last bomb.
Yeah, no, this blew me away. Doom, Wolfenstein 2, Doom and Wolfenstein 2 are coming to the Switch.
That's what's up. Doom. Okay, I gotta say, Doom has not been on a Nintendo console since the Nintendo 64. I have to say that Doom 64 was the last time you had Doom on a Nintendo console, and there's been four since then.
If you want Doom, if you're excited for Doom, even if you're not excited for Doom, do it for me. I want you to tweet at Nintendo of America, Nintendo Japan, I don't care, Nintendo of the Universe. Tell them that we need the cartridge to be red, because if the cartridge is not red, I will not buy the fucking game.
I think I would agree to that. I'm gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna use the Gameoctane Twitter. Everyone else can just retweet it if you guys want. Gameoctane, red, physical.
It's gotta be red, dude. Just like that N64 red one. Oh my god.
Cartridge. Yeah, so I'm gonna tweet that out. You guys can jump on the bandwagon. Maybe they'll look down and see us crawling in the shadows and think about it.
And you have to blow in the cartridge to make it work.
Yeah, and you have to lick it.
Lick it. I lick all my games.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it anyway. Yeah, Kurt's right. I'm gonna fucking buy it anyway. But whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wolfenstein 2. That's cool. I mean, that's interesting because I want to know a little bit more about it because is it gonna be the real version? Because like that game looks good, and if the Switch can run that, like.
Well, so the Switch can do 1080p 60 if it's docked.
Yeah.
So I can't see why it can't do it.
But another announcement. This wasn't a huge announcement. This was just confirming some of the shit that was floating around. The Skyrim that is going to be on Switch is the special edition with all the DLC. So it's the complete edition or whatever you want to call it that you've been buying for PS4 and Xbox One. But it will have no mod support as of right now.
No mod support, which basically made that game after a while. It made that game after a while. Everyone had a mod. If you're on PC, everyone had some sort of mod. And so I had the Portal mod, for fuck's sake. I had the space portal dude. I can't even think of the name, but you pick them up and you walk around them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nintendo Direct had some cool things, had a lot of not good things. We already mentioned the Octopath Traveler. We're stoked on that. That was announced during Nintendo Direct and got to see it. Matt said it's a demo, so I'm going to download that after this so I don't kill my bandwidth and have you guys look at a shitty, blurry Matt and I. But we're going to go elbow deep and get this set off. So this was something I thought of the other day, just kind of brainstorming and thinking out loud at work. has competitive gaming killed storytelling? Now, this is where I want to go with this, and we may not be able to talk too much on it because I believe we're on the same page on this one, Matt. Just thinking, but
Yeah.
I feel that it has.
Okay, maybe we're not on the same page.
Well, okay, so I mean, there's so I gotta explain myself. So the number one games right now are all competitive. You're talking about PUBG, we're talking about sports games, we're talking about um, Twitch streaming. Like I'm just gonna pull up Twitch real quick. The number one Twitch streaming games, I think majority of them are all competitive. Basically, with no single player story. So you got Battlegrounds, League of Legends, Hearthstone, NBA 2K18, Overwatch, Destiny 2 has a story. I'll take that back. Dota 2 really doesn't have a story. I mean, there's lore, just like League of Legends. You have Counter Strike, you have Arc, which is a little different. Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, there's so many games on here that really don't have a story anymore because they're focusing all on the competitive type of drive and the competitiveness um, from games. Now, I don't know, again, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing I have, but I know lately there has been a few games to push that envelope and get the story out and not just worry about the competitiveness. And I'm talking the latest game, last day of June. Maybe Undertale would be another one. Um, that hardly focuses on the gameplay and there's no killing anyone. You're not really gathering shit. You're not competing on the leaderboard. You're not competing with your friends. I mean, maybe besides achievements and stuff like that. But I feel like the multiplayer is where it's at. You're talking about first person shooters where maybe only 50% of the people that buy 50 to 60% of the people that buy Battlefield and Call of Duty only 50-60% of the people complete the storyline. They're not playing. There's no story there. They all want to just dive into the multiplayer and get right into killing things. So with something like that, do you feel like storytelling needs to have a comeback, or do you feel like there may not be a comeback because developers are seeing that if they want to sell something and sell a lot of it, you need to have some sort of competitive aspect to this type of game at all? Do you feel that way at all? That's what I'm kind of saying.
Hold on, I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
God damn it.
I don't understand what you mean, Myth. You say I know someone that has yet to play a single story in Call of Duty?
So you're saying all the people he knows that play Call of Duty just strictly hop right into multiplayer, never touch the story.
See, okay, so that's kind of what I was going to say. I'm the exact opposite. I mean, I don't think competitive gaming is killing storytelling. I think
but the storytelling in some of those games are shit though. Like they're not that good. They're suspenseful. I'll give it that, but they're not really telling a story.
All Call of Duty stories. I don't buy Call of Duty. I borrow it. I rent it. But I think their stories are always fucking great. Like I can't think of one Call of Duty. I mean, I haven't played Black Ops 3, but I heard great things about that one. Like that one was universally praised for the story, and I didn't play it. But all the Call of Duties, they're always they're always great storytelling. They have they're over the top action movies, and that's what they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking more meaningful stories.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna play Call of Duty and want to fucking like last day of June like cry. You know what I mean? Like I want to play Call of Duty and I want to play B-rate action movie. Like
yeah, I get that, I feel like that sometimes the multiplayer aspect of things maybe are not. I don't want to say taint, but I want to say that developers are focusing more on multiplayer and getting servers set up instead of focusing on like a story that could actually take a first-person shooter and make it epic, like someone in chat said, Last of Us and stuff like that. Like if you could, I mean, they have storylines like that. I feel like games could be so much better with storytelling, and I'm wondering if it's because the competitiveness is is taking over what is going on.
It's not though, because the guy who's making the multiplayer isn't also writing the story.
No, I get that, but I mean, if EA is like, I can drop $1 million. Go for it.
I think it's a little. I don't mean this in a bad way, but like, as someone like I don't want to say, oh my god, I don't think the guy who wrote Call of Duty story he could have done better. I mean, of everything could have been better. The multiplayer could have been better. I personally think Call of Duty's multiplayer is fucking terrible. The time to kill in that game is like 2 seconds. I turn a corner and I'm dead. So I mean, like, you'd be like, oh my god, he could do better. Well, then like you can just turn around the same way. I mean, it's all personal perspective. If we want to, I don't know if we want to focus on Call of Duty, but I mean, Last of Us was great. That multiplayer was great. You know, that multiplayer was great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games that they don't even need to have good story, and they have great story. I mean, like look at PUBG. I don't think that game like that's competitive, but it also has great storytelling because you sit around and you talk about how you and your buddy were like hit up in this house, and this guy walked in the door, and like I think what's happening is games nowadays like understand that like we're not stupid and we don't need our hand to be held.
Mm-hmm.
And like games like Zelda, where people want to bash that for the story, that game is amazing because it didn't need to tell you a story. It didn't need to hold your hand. Like that's why Zelda sold amazing. That's why Zelda was the only Zelda I've ever played and enjoyed, was because it treated me like an adult. And it was like, hey, you're smart enough to figure this out. Go figure it out. They weren't like, hey, Link, go to the castle and save this person and do this. Like games are evolving where they're being almost like what's that movie called? Shit. I can't think of it. Whatever. It's with Ryan. It's not Ryan Reynolds. Oh my god. Fucking the dude in Blade Runner. Who's the dude in Blade Runner?
The new dude in Blade Runner?
Yeah, the new Blade Runner. Who's the dude in Blade Runner? Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. He was in this movie. It takes place in like Korea. He's like a fighter and shit. And the story is very like it's very like I don't know, highbrow, if you will. It's you have to pick it up. Very very much like Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us, like they didn't come out and tell you like, hey, Joel's daughter was killed and Ellie's taking the place of Joe's daughter. But it kind of showed you throughout the gameplay and throughout the story that it was like that. I think they treated us like we were smart enough to make our own story or kind of build our own story structure.
Yeah, build your own theory behind it. Yeah, no, I get that.
Competitive gaming is taken away from that because you always have two different teams. I don't think once a developer is ever like, hey, let's make a single player story, but let's make it shitty or like let's make it not as good because we got to focus on the multiplayer. I mean, I think the guys who sit behind the keyboard and sit behind, at a coffee shop writing the story of the next Call of Duty, the next whatever, they're putting their heart and soul into that, and like they're doing amazing. I don't think. I mean, God, I'm not trying to like defend everybody, but like
no.
I don't think competitive gaming takes away from that. I think they both stand by themselves.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying like if you were a developer, and you had like, let's say I had an extra $1 million, would you put it towards storytelling? Would you put it towards being multiplayer?
Yeah, you'd put it towards multiplayer. You want to sell more copies.
That's what I'm saying. So like if you have a choice, like you would try to make the multiplayer better because it's selling. That's what I'm saying, because it's selling more copies. That was my whole point. Like,
I know, but I don't think that's killing storytelling. I don't think that's diminishing from storytelling.
But how many games lately have had like an awesome storyline just because of the storyline? I mean, there really aren't much, and usually those games are exclusive games, like exclusive to Microsoft, or exclusive to Sony, because they're able to focus on a single system. That maybe these stories, they actually can spend more money on the stories. That's what I was wondering. So I mean, I don't know. It's just something I wanted to bring up. I'm not fighting either one. I'm just saying I felt like lately that some of the stories have been lacking because. But like you said, can
you give me an example though? Do you have one game you played recently you thought the story wasn't good?
Well, I'm not saying the story wasn't good. There's just no story.
It's
period.
Lacking. Yeah, like what's a?
I mean, you can say PUBG H1Z1. You literally have to, but you have to make up your own. You have to. I mean, no, I'm not. That's what I'm saying though. So there's no story behind it, which therefore makes. If the #1 game in the world right now is PUBG, it's the #1 game streaming on Twitch, but there's absolutely no story. Do you think in the future that people are going to spend less attention to a story and focus more on competitive gaming because that's where the money's at? Or are you going to think there's going to be more independent developers like Obasonico and drop in the last day of June and try to get the actual and make it more of an art form rather than just a competitiveness? That's what I was wondering.
Well, Kurt, I mean, you bring up Star Wars Battlefront. That's a great. They're adding a story because people were pissed there wasn't a story.
And that was one game I was really pissed there was no story. Like, how do you take something like that and not do that?
So I think that's the opposite. Like, but I think when you play a game like PUBG or you play a game like Rainbow Six Siege, you're not saying, "Hey, I want to be immersed in a story." I don't think those developers went in and they're like, hey, we're just not gonna do a story.
No, I get
Like
that.
I don't think
I'm
they
not,
had a story to tell.
yeah,
You
I'm
know what I
not
mean? Like
saying, yeah, I'm not saying like not everything needs a story to be told, but I feel like I wonder if some of the games that want someone that wants to create a game around a story may get shunned because it's not going to make as much money as it would with competitive. That's where I want to kind of get with everything.
maybe I think it's too broad of a question. Like
Oh, no, it's a broad question.
it's
I just wanted to I
yeah
think
no
out
it's
loud. I
just
wanted to get the chat kind of
no yeah
thinking. But I mean, we've got both sides, and I agree with both sides. I'm like, I want to, if I had $1 million extra, I would most definitely spend it on competitive gaming because that's where the money is, and that's where people are
and
going to play, and that's
that's
what's
the
going to
thing.
drive that. That's going to drive people to keep playing your game that you want to keep updating it. You can make the greatest story in the world, and no one may ever play it because it's not, there's no competitiveness, and that's what drives the majority of gamers today. There's not a lot of gamers. The majority of gamers are going to play just because they want to feel like they're the best at something, and that's where I was getting with the whole thing. If you
Maybe,
think that the people that have that competitive drive and want to be on top and want to be number one, is that stunting the storytelling growth of things? I feel like the VR is a huge upside on some of the storytelling because it kind of changes the game a little bit, and you can't really be competitive with VR, so you have to excel in the storytelling to make that VR, something that's going to stick around. Because if you don't have competitiveness, which there aren't really any multiplayer games, and you
but
have
look at
shitty
things
storytelling.
Like Onward for VR. Onward is an awesome competitive, no story, just like it's basically Call of Duty
Yeah.
VR game, and it's sold amazing. Like maybe not amazing, I don't know the numbers, but I mean it sold well. I think the thing is, if you have $1 million extra to put towards one thing,
Hmm.
it doesn't really matter what the fuck you put it towards because you have $1 million extra.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
no,
what's
I
gonna
get and I get that. I'm just like I said, I'm not arguing
no,
one
no,
way or the other. I
what I
just
think
want,
is
yeah.
gonna happen is
Hmm.
like the big developers who have the $1 million to throw around, they're gonna make a par story, a good story with Call of Duty. They're going to make a great multiplayer. They're going to want
Hmm.
to put it into multiplayer. Then you're going to get people, indie developers, like, you know what? I don't have $1 million. I want to make $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make Stardew Valley. I'm gonna spend five
Yep.
years of my life in my room making this game, and it's gonna be this beautiful story, this beautiful game that has no multiplayer as of yet. Like, but it has no competitive nature. Like, you're gonna get stuff like that. So I don't think it's gonna kill. I think if anything, it's gonna make it thrive because I think the big publishers are gonna want to make money because that's what they are. They're a business,
Hmm.
and I think it's gonna make people who are artists who are like, hey, I want to write the next, great competitive single player slash whatever. I want to be the next guy who writes the next Halo. They're gonna go off and like look at Bonfire Studios. Bonfire Studios comes from like the dudes from Blizzard and shit. Like they went off and made an independent studio because they want to make their own game.
No, and
Those are
and
people
that's
who have
that's what
money.
I
Like you know
want
what I
to
mean?
see. That's the shit I want to see. I want to see people start thinking outside the box and finding a way to deliver their story that they've had in their head for so long, but maybe may have been may have been shunned or stunted because it doesn't have that aspect for the company they're working at, and that makes them money. And I really, really hope that starts taking off. And I'm really hoping
Yeah.
these next couple of years, especially with the Switch and especially with the way indie development is coming and making it so easy to make a game now. Like anyone can make a game if they want. I really feel that I'm hoping that we're going to see influx of some awesome storytelling because I know it's out there. Like it feels like every couple of years we have a ton of shit with great stories, and then it kind of slows back down. And we have another ton of stuff with like really, really amazing, memorable stories, and it kind of slows back down. So I'm hoping we're on an upclimb.
Yeah, I think that's just the video game industry, as a beast, is that
Yep.
it's very roller coastery. It goes up and down, and you get games that are open world story. Okay, I want to, and that's just kind of how it goes. But I think you'll get what you want either way. If you want competitive games,
Mm-hmm.
it's now's the time. If you want good story games, go buy Destiny 2 because that game's awesome.
Destiny fucking 2. It's there again. So yeah, I think we're good. Everything should be nice and tidied up. I know that we're probably gonna jump off and hop back on the stream real quick again, because we have a little draft that we have through Gameoctane. We're gonna probably do it live so people can check out our draft. Everyone's gonna hop in Discord, I hope, and we're gonna talk shit and figure out what's going on. There's not too many teams, like 4 teams, so you're not gonna miss anything. You're not gonna lose anything out of it. It's not going to take too long, hopefully. But thanks again, everyone. Matt, you have anything else to say before we shut this down and jump into other
Not
mode?
at the moment. No, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for the
Definitely
bits. Thanks for
go.
the hosts. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good time. And thank you everyone for chatting. It definitely opened up some more conversation. Super,
Is
super
it
appreciate that.
still? I want to talk about. Is it still September right now? Can you get the all subscriptions are half price?
Yeah, it's
Is that still going on?
September.
So you
It's
can sub us for $2.49 instead of 5.
249. We don't have any sweet ass emotes yet, but I'm working on it.
We
We're
are working on
working
that.
on a
Yeah.
couple things and getting those set up. So it should be hopefully soon. I'm really hoping soon. So we'll have to see.
Definitely.
But yeah, thank you guys again for hanging out with us. And this is the final of our episode 6 of Go Time. We'll see everyone next Thursday. Thank you so much. See ya.